Well, I come to my first air handler and the blower motor's not running. I'm gonna check the capacitor. Looks like it wanted to run when I spun it, but it still wouldn't take off. I'm gonna check my capacitor here. Does not bode well. Try again. Alright, let me shut this thing down so I can take a look at it. Lower capacitor was good, registering 5 microfarads. So what I did is I took the leads off of this peanut relay, put it over here. There's actually 2 of them, I just put them on the same terminal. And we're going to see if she starts up when I plug it in. As you can see, we're running, so the peanut relay is bad. We'll have to change that relay at some point, but I was going to leave the fan running today anyway while I check the heat pumps on the roof, so I just let it go for a little while, then switch it at the end of the day or come back in the morning and switch it. I'm pretty sure I have one. I'll have to check and see, because I'm not positive. Might just go back with a double pole, double throw. Guys, I'm in the apartments and had any other issues. I've been on the 3rd floor, 2nd floor. I'm now finishing up the 1st floor. I have one more apartment after this. And I wanted to show you these drains on these First Company air handlers. We have our primary, we have a secondary with a flow switch in it, and it unscrews at the bottom and dumps out if it ever gets water in it. And what I do is I get one of these 3/8 tubes, feed it down into the drain because it'll actually feed down in there. Then I get my nitrogen here and blow it out. I just make sure the drain is clear, give it 3 or 4 bursts, clear the thing out. You can hear the water running down it. So it works really well. A bottle of nitrogen costs less than a whole bunch of Gallo cartridges, and I'll be used nowhere near a bottle. I'm using the remnants of a bottle now and only have one more apartment left. Well, I'm back up on the roof, guys. I checked all those units yesterday. Had to put refrigerant in like 3 or 4 of them. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. I think I had to put refrigerant in 3 or 5. But I have to jump them out from up here. One of the good things is when you jump out one of these old thermostats, and some of the modern thermostats, is that the blower will run if you jump out the Y call. So I'm gonna get down to business. If something interesting happens, or even if it doesn't, I'll show you guys. We have a line here measuring 56 degrees. We have our suction line hooked up, and it says we only have about 5 degrees of superheat because we're sitting at 85 pounds of suction. Now what I think here is, I've looked at the head pressure yesterday when I was here, which I thought I'd already done this unit, but I didn't write it down. The head pressure was below 200. Target head pressure today would likely be above 200 in the 210 to 220 range for an old machine like this, but it's below 200, leading me to believe since we have a lower discharge pressure, higher suction pressure, and the superheat's low, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's overcharged. It looks like the compressor is probably having some pass-through on the valves, and that's just the case here. The compressor doesn't sound that great. It's demonstrating that it has less compression than it should, so it looks like the valves are going out on the compressor. Still putting out some cooling, just not as efficient as it could be, and probably going to fail eventually. Guys, looking at the next unit here, you want to hear some annoying stuff? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. That is annoying. She's a chatterbox. She's a fucking chatterbox. We're gonna let it run for a minute. Much to my chagrin, I have to listen to this shit. So we'll see if she's low on refrigerant. These units take a little while because they're down on the 1st floor and we're on the roof. So, good grief. Might need a new contactor. Guys, looking at this unit here, it has a 87 pound suction, just under 200 head. We're running 91 going back to the compressor. Yep. Pretty hot coming back to the compressor. Looks like this compressor is not doing too well, and it probably won't be around much longer. It's one of them things. 90 pound suction, low head pressure. It kind of looks like it is either, if a TXV was failed open or something like that, you'd have a low superheat. This one doesn't have a low superheat. It's 89 degrees coming back, which gives it a superheat of 39. It looks like it's just an inefficient compressor at this point. I've seen inefficient compressors that give you a little bit of a low superheat and ones that give you a higher superheat, but that's what it looks like here. There's not much bleed through on the reversing valve. We got 89 going in. It does go up a little bit, to 91, but you know, not a whole lot, just a degree or two. So looks like the compressor's to blame here.
I'm in my bed. I can't find the reason I can't move. I'm not dead, but my energy has been used. I'm not done, but my body refuses to obey. I hate to be.
We are back at our air handler that had the bad relay in the beginning. Here's the peanut relay. I have a 9340 in place. Power taps on the top. One of them's not even going to anything because you only need one of them because they were mated together right here. We have our normally open line going to the inlet of the sequencer, also coming from the transformer. It comes from the transformer first, and then goes to the sequencer as well. Then our normally closed coming from the other side of the sequencer. So when the sequencer closes, it'll turn the fan motor on too. So, all done. About to leave and go have some lunch. I wish this memory was dead. I can't seem to rest in my bed. It was 20 years ago. I see her face. She was the love of my life, destined to be my one and only wife. She was the girl of my dreams. Life don't end the way that it seems. Life don't end the way that it seems. She came from a good family, true, and I was, oh, my collar was blue. She had refinement and class, and all I did each day was bust my ass. All I did each day was bust my ass.